The date is January 19th, 1997. The Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas, is a massive cathedral of chaos, pulsating with the energy of over 60,000 rabid fans. The Royal Rumble is in full swing, a symphony of anticipation and adrenaline electrifying the air. Suddenly, the entire arena is compelled to rise to its feet as a colossus steps into view, a force of nature draped in menace, towering at 6'5", and tipping the scales at over 400 pounds. The Leviathan known as Vader strides through the curtain. His black mask conceals his face but amplifies his aura, a symbol of destruction wrapped in leather and fury. The crowd is split, cheers and jeers collide in a cacophony of awe and fear as the mastodon makes his way to the ring. Each step reverberates with the promise of violence. Soon, The Undertaker arrives, his dark presence a worthy match for Vader's brutal ferocity. What unfolds is not merely a bout, but a war of titans. For over 13 grueling minutes, the squared circle becomes a battlefield. Vader unleashes an arsenal of raw power and startling agility, battering the dead man with the precision of a wrecking ball. This is Vader at his zenith, an indomitable juggernaut who doesn't just compete but dominates. His mere presence elevates the Royal Rumble to a spectacle of mythic proportions. On this night, Vader doesn't just face The Undertaker. He cements his legacy as one of the most fearsome warriors to ever set foot in a WWF ring. But how did Leon Allen White become the monster known as Vader? To understand his rise to the top of professional wrestling, we need to go back to the beginning. Born on May 14, 1955, in Linwood, California, White seemed destined for athletic greatness from an early age. As a standout football player in high school, he earned a scholarship to the University of Colorado, where he was named a second-team All-American guard. His play on the field caught the attention of NFL scouts, and in 1978, he was drafted in the third round by the Los Angeles Rams. White's NFL career was brief but memorable. During his second season, as part of the injured reserve list, he made it to Super Bowl 14, as a member of the 1979 Rams team that lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Unfortunately, a devastating knee injury during training camp ended his football dreams prematurely, but this setback would ultimately lead White down a new path, one that would see him become one of the most renowned professional wrestlers of all time. In 1985, White began training under Brad Riggin to become a pro wrestler. He made his debut for the American Wrestling Association in December of that year under the ring name Baby Bull, which was eventually changed to Bull Power, a nod to his days as an offensive lineman. However, it was a tour of Germany in 1987 that would change the trajectory of White's career forever. While competing for Otto On's Catch Wrestling Association, he caught the eye of New Japan Pro Wrestling booker Riki Choshu. Impressed by White's combination of size, strength, and agility, Choshu invited him to come work in Japan. White made his debut for New Japan in December 1987 under the name Big Van Vader. The gimmick was inspired by Japanese folklore, with Vader wearing an intimidating black mask and helmet that shot smoke. It was in Japan that Vader truly came into his own as a performer, developing his hard-hitting style and signature moves like the Vader Bomb. In April of 1989, Vader reached the pinnacle of Japanese wrestling when he defeated Shinya Hashimoto to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This victory made him the first foreign wrestler to hold New Japan's top title. Vader would go on to have 3 reigns as heavyweight champion over the next few years, establishing himself as one of the company's biggest stars. Vader's success in Japan opened doors for him internationally. He began working for World Championship Wrestling in 1990 while also continuing to compete for New Japan. Some of Vader's most memorable feuds during this period came against Sting, Ric Flair, and Cactus Jack. His brutal battles with Cactus Jack, in particular, have gone down in wrestling lore. Vader's reputation as a stiff worker who laid in his moves with full force only added to his mystique. He was a true monster heel who struck fear into both his opponents and the fans, but this intensity sometimes led to real-life incidents. In April of 1997, Vader was involved in a now infamous altercation in Kuwait during a WWF press event when a TV host questioned whether wrestling was fake. Vader flipped over the desk and grabbed the host by the tie, shouting profanities. The incident led to Vader being arrested and detained in Kuwait for 10 days before finally being deported. In a subsequent interview, it emerged that this incident had been orchestrated by the show's producers as a calculated ploy to boost ratings, unbeknownst to the host, who was left in the dark. The scheme led to him pressing charges against White. Despite this controversy, Vader's star continued to rise. He had captured his third and final WCW World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Ric Flair. Throughout 1994 and 1995, he remained one of WCW's top attractions, feuding with the likes of Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Flair. In 1996, Vader made the jump to the World Wrestling Federation. He debuted at the Royal Rumble on January 21st, eliminating several competitors before being tossed out himself. Vader quickly established himself as a dominant force, engaging in high-profile feuds with Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Bret Hart. One of the highlights of Vader's WWF run came at SummerSlam on August 18, 1996, when he challenged Shawn Michaels for the championship in the main event. Though he came up short, the match showcased Vader's ability to work with smaller, more agile opponents. His combination of power moves and surprising athleticism for his size made him a unique and formidable competitor. As we saw earlier, Vader's clash with The Undertaker at the 1997 Royal Rumble further cemented his status as a top-tier talent in the Federation. But despite his in-ring success, backstage politics and creative differences began to hamper Vader's push. By 1998, he found himself being used less frequently in high-profile matches. Vader's last major WWF storyline came in the summer of 1998 when he was relegated to the role of the man they call Vader, a play on his declining status in the company. This led to Vader threatening to kill himself on Monday Night Raw, though the angle was quickly dropped. He left the Federation in October 1998. Following his departure, Vader returned to Japan, where he continued to be revered as a major star. Vader's style and character remained hugely popular with Japanese fans well into the 2000s. But while his in-ring career continued to flourish, Vader's personal life was not without its struggles. Like many wrestlers of his era, he battled issues with substance abuse. His fondness for tequila in particular led to some dark moments and brushes with the law. One such incident allegedly occurred in 2002 at Vader's home in Colorado. According to reports, Vader had been drinking heavily and decided to take his car for an off-road excursion. He ended up totaling the vehicle near a lake before abandoning the wreckage and walking back to his house. When police officers arrived at Vader's home to investigate, they were met with hostility. The enormous wrestler allegedly threatened the officers and resisted arrest. It reportedly took 3 pairs of connected handcuffs to restrain Vader's arms behind his back, a testament to his incredible size and strength, even while intoxicated. Perhaps most alarmingly, Vader is said to have threatened to kill the K9 unit dog that was present at the scene. This threat, combined with his belligerent behavior towards the officers, led to his arrest for public intoxication. While the full details of this incident remain somewhat murky, it paints a troubling picture of the demons Vader was battling outside the ring. In 2007, after enduring years of alcohol abuse and the relentless demands of travel, White faced the dissolution of his marriage. This pivotal moment led him to abandon drinking and significantly reduce his travels. Despite his personal setbacks, Vader's legacy as one of professional wrestling's most dominant and influential big men remains secure. His combination of raw power and intense in-ring style made him a truly unique performer. Vader was capable of having compelling matches with opponents of all sizes, from high flyers like Shawn Michaels to fellow monsters like The Undertaker. Beyond his championship accolades, Vader's influence can be seen in many of the super heavyweight wrestlers who followed him. His ability to perform moonsaults and other agile maneuvers, despite his massive size, paved the way for modern-day big men who showcase similar athleticism.